Omicron variant puts the world in the race against time, says EU Commission President. CNN, the world is in the race against time with the Omicron coronavirus variant, said the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Sunday, warning during a visit to the Latvia that scientists and manufacturers will need weeks to fully understand the new variant. As more cases were identified and governments around the world mobilized to respond to Omicron, an urgent meeting of G7 health ministers will be convened on Monday, the United Kingdom said. It also announced on Sunday new domestic public health rules requiring face coverings in shops and on public transport starting this week. Omicron was first identified by scientists in South Africa who raised their alarm over its unusually high number of mutations on Thursday. Since then, at least a dozen others have confirmed cases of the new strain, with several other reporting suspected cases. Apart from South Africa, the variant has been found in Botswana, Belgium, Canada, Australia, the Netherlands, Denmark, United Kingdom, Germany, Israel, Italy, and the Czech Republic and Hong Kong. On Sunday, Dutch authorities announced that at least 13 people had tested positive at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport after traveling from South Africa. The Netherlands National Institute for Public Health and the Environment said in a statement that the variant had been detected through the sequencing of 61 positive COVID-19 samples that were obtained at the airport on Friday. It's possible that the new variant will be found in more test samples, the institution noticed. Biostatistician Professor Celia Bird said the test results from Amsterdam were concerning, but that more data was needed. There may be household clusters among the 13 Omicron positive, or clustering may have been induced by where passengers were seated on the flight from South Africa, she told the Science Media Centre, adding that the vaccination status and the age distribution of those infected will also need to be considered before any conclusion were made about the variant. The situation should be seen with alert rather than alarm until more is known, she said. Canadian health officials also confirmed the country's first two Omicron cases in Ottawa on Sunday. Both individuals carrying the variant had recently traveled from Nigeria, according to a joint statement by Deputy Premier and Prime Minister of Health Christine Elliott and Chief Medical Officer of Health Dr. Kiara Moore. We continue to urge the federal government to take the necessary steps to mandate point of arrival testing for all travelers, irrespective of where they are coming from, to further protect against the spread of this new variant. The joint statement also said the variant are concerned. The World Health Organization, called the WHO, has designated the Omicron variant, originally referred to as B11529, a variant of concern. WHO said on Friday that all the evidence suggests the Omicron variant first identified in South Africa could pose an increased risk of reinfection, and said that some of the mutations detected on the variant were concerning. But WHO stressed that more research is needed to determine whether the variant is more contagious, whether it causes more severe disease, and whether it could evade the vaccines. This variant has a number not large number of mutations, and some of these mutations have some warning characteristics. Maria Karkhope, WHO's technical lead for COVID-19, said in a statement on Friday. Right now, there are many studies that are underway. So far, there's little information, but those studies are underway, so we need researchers to have the time to carry those out, and the WHO informed the public and our partners and our member states as soon as we have more information, she added. The health workers of the Red Cross transport passengers infected with the coronavirus returning to the Netherlands from South Africa to the hotel quarantine. Travel bans and new quarantine requirements. The variant discovery and fast spread across the world is an uncomfortable reminder that the pandemic is far from over. A number of countries have slammed their borders shut to travelers from Southern Africa, with the European Union, Japan, Australia, the United States, Canada, Rwanda, and many others banning travelers from countries including South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Lesotho, Eswatini, Mozambique, and Malawi. But South Africa and some of other countries hit by the travel bans are pushing back. Speaking in Pretoria on Sunday, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa describes the bans as baseless discrimination. These restrictions were unjustified and unfairly discriminate against our country and our Southern African sister countries. The prohibition of travel is not informed by science, nor it will be effective in preventing the spread of this variant. The only thing the prohibition on travel will do is to further damage the economics of the affected countries and undermine their ability to respond to and recover from the pandemic, he said. South Africa's Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation has said the country was being punished for its transparency. Excellent science should be applauded and not punished. The global community needs collaboration and partnerships in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic, the ministry said in a statement. The combination of South Africa's capacity to test and its ramped-up vaccination program backed up by world-class scientific community should give our global partners the comfort that we are doing as well as we are in managing the pandemic. South Africa follows and enforces globally recognized COVID-19 health protocols on travel. No infected individuals were permitted to leave the country, it added. Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera also criticized the travel bans, saying they were uncalled for. COVID measures must be based on science, not aprophobia, he said on his official Facebook page. Many experts said South African scientists deserve the credit for their ability to quickly identify the risks stemming from the new variant. The move to impose bans has also sparked criticism from the WHO. We've seen in the past the minute there is any kind of mention of any kind of variant and everyone is closing borders and is restricting travel. It's really important that we remain open and stay focused. WHO's head of emergencies, Dr. Michael Ryan, said Saturday. South Africa has very, very good genomic sequencing capacity and capability. Certainly, South Africa and any other countries should not be stigmatized for reporting it and doing the right thing, Michael had, a senior research fellow in global health at the University of Southampton told CNN in a phone report interview. However, had said that travel bans, if used correctly, could play a role in controlling the outbreak. It's a difficult scenario. It can buy you a bit of time. So if countries are imposing a ban and using the time, which will be at the moment a few weeks, increase the pace of vaccination rollout to make sure that any new antiviral drugs are available within the country, to increase the testing, genomic surveillance at airport, that sort of thing, that's something you can usefully do with the travel ban, he said. If you just implement a travel ban and say right, job done, then that's no good to anyone. And if you do, as it were, punish countries for reporting new variant, we should really look to support them as well, whether it's infrastructure or funding or vaccine doses, whatever might be appropriate. CNN's Rally Madowo in Paris contributed reporting.